right, guys, VIP here, and I know you guys are used to seeing a lot of content from us, but today we're going to do something just a little bit different. What we're featuring today is going to be LSD. It's a lead strategy discussion.
We're dropping pills.
We're not dropping pills.
No? Okay.
All right, first topic, guys, we're going to talk about the importance of reviews. What do you think?
I think it's super important. That's what I think. I think it's really something that a lot of business owners should focus on. It kind of reminds me of like your credit report or your resume. Yeah. Whenever someone writes their resume, they're going to always tell you the good things about themselves and paint themselves in a great light. So therefore, they would do the same for their business. Or if it were your credit report, you give yourselves 800s across the board saying, oh, I'm perfect, I'm perfect, I'm perfect. But very few times do people or businesses like to talk about the things that they don't do well.
And I feel like people are way more inclined to write a bad review than a good review. So in order to get those good reviews, you have to have outstanding service, go above and beyond.
Yeah, I'm more likely to believe what somebody else says about somebody than what they say themselves. Yeah. Kind of doubling back on what you said. If I'm going to go see a movie, I don't care what the movie says about the movie. I care about what other people say about the movie, Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why they always say, like, the bestseller, New York Times.
Yeah, even the first Green Lantern said it was good.
So, like, when she was saying something about you, we should believe what she says because she gave a review about you.
Did she?
All right, guys, no fighting. Let's move on. Let's talk about the diversifying your marketing strategy.
I think,
Oh, no.
take it away, Jay.
No, I mean, diversification is absolutely key. It helps with optimizing, what's working. How are you going to know what's working without trying, different things, and analyzing, the benefits that it brings to your business, and then keying in on the things that are working and the things that aren't working so well.
Don't want to have all your eggs in one basket, so you want to try different channels, whether it be social, traditional, digital.
Which social media platform do you think is the best?
I think it really depends on who your audience is. So I think a lot of younger people on Instagram's growing, so it's a great place to show visual elements of your company, whether you're retail and you want to show food or things like that. But Facebook's a really good platform to target that specific audience.
I think they're all good. I think people behave differently in different platforms. Like Bridget just said about young people on Instagram. We know Bridget is a certain way right now with us, but when Bridget's on Instagram, she might be the same Bridget, but she's going to behave differently in that platform. I think they're all equally important. I mean, that's like the chicken or the egg, which one came first question, But I think they're all important. It's just what matters is what is your goal? What kind of attention are you trying to grab? Because people behave differently in different platforms.
So would you say it's better than to rent your audience or own your audience? And what does that mean exactly?
I know this is something me and Eric talk about a lot. It's like you want to reach people organically. You want to reach the people who are already there, ready to hear your message, rather than having to spend money. And while you do need to spend money and go out there and get new people, the more people that you have watching you already is going to be a lot more beneficial than having to spend $1 to go get a certain amount of people.
Yeah, and you rent an audience to eventually, hopefully, own that audience. If you're producing, valuable content to certain people and you're putting quality things out there.
Like this.
And, once you pay to get those viewers, then you hope that they will keep wanting to come back to you without us buying that audience.
It's like renting an apartment or owning a house. I mean, if you're renting an apartment, then you have no value whatsoever. You can move out and you're detached, someone else will move in. If you own a home, you are investing in your future. If you move out, hopefully you're taking the proceeds of the sales to go buy something else bigger and better. So, I mean, if you're thinking about renting and owning an audience, I mean, just think about renting and owning an apartment. I mean, you're paying the landlord, which is like a media company, or are you going to get some equity in your home when you move away? That's how I see renting and owning an audience.
Good point. How does the importance of responsiveness in business? So like how important is it to respond in the business?
Vital. How do you know what to do unless they tell you, and how well do you think you're doing if nobody, responds to you?
And things just get done so much more efficiently if everyone's communicating, everyone's on the same page.
I think people are impatient. I think consumers and customers, they're impatient. We are impatient too. I mean, you think about it like now, I mean, we wear watches that tell us everything. We have our schedules on our watches and we're in a digital age. We are in the right now, I want it now, need it now day and age. And I think whenever a customer comes to your business, and if you are not responsive, because 5 minutes to you is all day to them. You know, if you're not responsive enough, then guess what? You warm them up to go to your competitor. So I think being responsive in business, I mean, that's huge. I mean, if you are not responsive in business, then just prepare to lose in sales.
How are some ways we can strengthen the presenting skills?
Practice. For me, I think the wing it days are over. Yeah, I don't think you can just show up and just wing it anymore. I think it takes practice. You know, practice makes perfect, and now in my eyes, I think practice makes pitch perfect. You know, so sometimes I listen to old meetings that I've had, and I go back and say, "Wow, I can't believe I said that," or I would phrase it different. So I think practice.
Clear message helps too, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I think also, having your team behind you
and
makes you way more comfortable.
keeping people's interest. You know what I mean? I think I just saw Parker looking out the window at somebody walking by. You know what I mean? We can't even keep the cameraman's attention right now.
Wow. Maybe he has some LSD, yeah? Maybe that's what it is, right? So I think, we went to a seminar in Charlotte this week, and the one thing he said in that seminar was to not be so confusing. If you can't explain what you do, in a minute or in 30 seconds, then you can confuse the hell out of the audience already.
Oh yeah, and was it that Einstein said? If you can't make somebody else understand a topic, then you don't really know the topic yourself.
Damn right.
So what do you guys think of the word of mouth marketing?
I think that just goes kind of back to what we were saying about reviews. People are going to trust each other way more than they're going to trust an ad that they know that a company went to go put money behind they want in front of you. If I hear Jay tell me that this one restaurant has amazing food, chances are I'll probably go check it out.
I think word of mouth is the best advertisement. The best. You can't compete with it. Not only is it where you are getting the opinion of someone else, but I still think with your message you can control word of mouth. And I think with your service you can actually help control that as well. I mean, you can control, your performance actually controls what people say about you, can help. Not 100% of the time, because you can give great service and someone else may be looking for a fight, and then they may not think you're doing great. But I think word of mouth is incredibly important. People should look for that.
So Eric, how do you motivate your employees?
This sucks. Just give them beer. I think there's two things. I went to this seminar, and I think there's two things that can help motivate people. That they say it's important inside of a workplace. It's income and environment. But I also think it just depends on whoever the staff is. You have to manage people differently. You can't manage one person the same way you do the other person. At the end, you get the same results, but you manage them differently. I think you have to listen to people. And I think the problem with a lot of employers is it's always my way, my way, my way. But you have to think like it's our way. How is it going to be better for all of us? Because if I don't improve it for this person and then that person, then someone's going to suffer. So I think the best way to do it is involve everyone in the process and everyone into the decision making, because now they're all bought into what we've all created, and you move forward. Like, I'll give you the best example is like this awesome video production and graphic design team, Craft, right? So we had this meeting with them on Friday, and we discussed like where we wanted to go as a production team, and where we wanted to go, everyone was bought in, but they all helped make that decision. It wasn't like it was just me. And for employees, they want opportunity as well. They want opportunity. They want to grow. So you have to ask them, okay, what's important to you? And then I think as a business owner, you have to think like, okay, how can I help that person get to where they need to go? And then I think that cycle starts over every 3, 6, 9, 12 months, 3, 6, 9, 12, 24 months, 36 months. It starts over and over again, because it is almost like a pursuit of happiness. You have to continually think of, okay, how am I going to do better than I did before? The problem is, I think business owners, they're paying attention to like their variance reports and saying like, okay, well, we were up 5% before and we want to be 5% again. No, you got to think about your people meter. If your people meter was 5% before, I want it to be 25% the next year. So I think the way to motivate them is you listen. It's not about just saying you want to go get beers and just take everyone out for happy hour. That's a Band-Aid on a wound. I think you have to listen to people, listen to what's important to them, and you help everyone to get to their goals. That's the key.
I mean, that's the main thing, right? People are just helping people and making everybody's job easier. You know what I mean? Here internally, I know that we, strive to work together and collaborate on so many things that inherently we just make each other's lives easier, within these walls. And when clients come to us as a marketing agency, shouldn't we be making their lives easier?
100%.
You know what I mean? They come to us with a need, and we, help fill that hole for them. So
I think if you take care of the people will take care of the clients. I really think so. I've never seen it where like unhappy people give the best service. It's usually people who they feel like they're in a good position, they're part of something, everyone's moving forward to a goal. That's important. I know for me, like every day it's about the people. You can't just say, oh, it's about me, because me doesn't exist without them.
I think about it as I wake up, as I eat breakfast. Every day I open these doors, and every day no one comes in. Sometimes I wonder, is my business invisible? That's when I learned about Craft Creative. Just a couple consultations, and I immediately saw results. Craft Creative gave me and my business a chance.
Side effects may include rapid growth in income, higher traffic rates, increased social media presence, and solid brand management.
Ask about Craft Creative today.
And we're back. Bridget's actually going to pick up where we just left off, talking about motivating the employees.
I think it just all comes to everyone being happy working with each other. I know something that we hold really highly is making sure every employee can like work easily with each other. So we won't bring someone onto this team if every single person like isn't happy with them. And I think it just motivates us to all work harder. Like if I know Jay's really dedicated to a project, it's going to motivate me to also help him and create a successful product.
She's right. But another thing too, I think normal companies have employees. Normal companies have employees. We don't want that. We're not a normal company. I think for us, we have team members because we're a part of something. We're going towards something. I think like one thing Bridget talked about, everyone getting along and doing things together. We even hire together. I think that's important.
So let's talk about staying authentic in business and how important that is.
I think that's something we try to do every day, just giving people an inside look at how we are as people, not just a company. We're not just typing away on computers following automation. We're all real people, and we all really do care for our clients and care for each other. So I think it's important to just stay authentic, and we have a message and a mission, and we try to stay true to it.
all I know is back in the day when I would turn in my math homework, they wanted to see me work out the problem. You know what I mean? I couldn't just go there with the answer and they'd be like, way to go, Jay. No, you had to show how you worked it out. And, with us, the authenticity comes into place as to, the plan behind it. What are we going to do? We're not just plugging something into a machine and producing results for people. We sit down, figure out a strategy, figure out a plan, and implement that strategy with a goal in mind that, eventually we'll show our work and say, look, this is what we did. This is the result that we gave you. And if you can't show your work, then did you actually do anything?
I think it's twofold. I think not only ourselves, but I think business owners have to do like kind of what I call like a brand audit, and kind of grade yourself in authenticity and consistency and say like, are you doing both? If you're not doing both, then you should be very concerned about your brand. And I think businesses have to understand that they don't own their brand. They have someone else that is a part owner of their brand, and that's a consumer. And the brand, the conception, however that consumer views your brand, that's what you have to be concerned with. Like Nike may see themselves as a fitness company, but other people may see Nike as just an apparel company. So you have to think like every brand has a co-owner.
What do you think of the importance of collaboration?
We kind of touched on that earlier, kind of comes in with, having a successful and collaborative workspace where everyone is offering their ideas and, thinking of better ways to improve on a marketing goal or, how we're going to implement, a certain kind of campaign or anything like that. And also it comes back to, the diversification aspect of it as well. It's the mingling of different ideas. Bridget might have a certain idea on, you know, successful campaign. I might have a separate idea on how to make that campaign successful, and Eric might have a separate thing. And are either one of us right or inherently wrong? Probably not. You know, it's finding the best bits of everything and putting them into one and letting it ride.
And everyone's held accountable. We all rely on each other to finish a product. I can't just set up an entire marketing strategy and do all the creative by myself. We all each have a job and we all rely on each other.
I think isolation can kill collaboration. That's why no one here is isolated. I mean, we all work together. I mean, from production, who's a stone throw away, to someone who's setting up the social accounts, and whoever's checking over to see if we had success. I think collaboration is ideal. I think it's mandatory, not just in our business, but also in the client's business too. You isolate, you can kill collaboration.
Agreed. Well, thanks so much for hanging out, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. I can eat my sandwich now.